Hi everyone, my name is Lennon Hu, and I'll be playing Casca, Calpurnia, Lepidus, and Plebeian.
I'm Abigail. I'll be playing Cinna, the Soothsayer, and Mark Antony.
Hi y'all, I'm Angelique. I'll be playing Decius, Portia, Octavius, and Plebeian.
Hi, I'm Ariana. I'll be playing Brutus.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I'll be playing Cassius and a plebeian.
I'm Marcus Antony, and I'll be playing Julius Caesar, Pindorus, and Lucius. And the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company proudly presents Julius Caesar! Ha! Who calls?
Did every noise be still? Peace yet again!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music. Cry, Caesar, speak! Caesar turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March!
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set her before me. Let me see her face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
No! Caesar! Beware the Ides of March, Caesar!
She is a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do like some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one. Then that poor Brutus with himself at war forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitation. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirror as will turn your hidden worthiness into yourself, that you might see your shadow.
And to what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me?
I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well. We can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into the angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow me. So indeed he did. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" So from the waves of the Tiber bore I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god? And Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nods on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was upon him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this God did shake. It doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth stride the narrow world like a colossus, and we, petty men, walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at sometimes, are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. When went there by an age since the great flood? When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompass but one man? Now it is Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man.
What you would work me to. I have some aim. What you have said, I will with patience hear and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
Oh, I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve. He will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy of note today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonio,
Caesar!
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid. So soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. Rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf. Tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak, would speak with me.
Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why for that too?
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, Mary was, and he put it by thrice, every time, gentler than other, and at every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, and as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it to him the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblemen hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, he hath it not. But you, and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
When he came into himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul! And forgave him with all their hearts. But there was no heed to be taken from them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads, but for mine own part, it was Greek to me. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised for.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold in your dinner worth eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick-mettled when he went to school.
This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Why, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition will be glanced at. After this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure. Who's there?
A Roman!
Casca, by your voice.
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? O Cassius, I have seen the tempest when the scolding winds hath rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell in rage and foam to be exalted in the threatening clouds, but never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens meant so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, open graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grows and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
Caesar that you mean. Is it not Cassius? Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. That part of tyranny that I do bear I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. What trash is Rome, what rubbish, what offal, when it serves as the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh, grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no fleering telltale, hold my hand.
There is a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. Cassius! Stand close a while, here comes one in haste. It is Cinna, I do know him by his gait. He's a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that?
It is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Cinna, am I not stayed for?
I am glad on it. What a fearful night is this. 'Tis 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, good Cinna. Look you lay this in the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window. All this done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yield him ours. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him and be sure of him.
What? Lucius, ho? I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. Lucius, I say,
Called you, my lord.
get me a candle in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him. But for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face, but when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The candle burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the 1st of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc., speak, strike, redress? Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Such instigations have been often dropped, or I have took them up. Shall Rome, etc., thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome, the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir.
Let him enter. They are the faction.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honors you. And every one doth wish you had that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Casca.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This is Cinna.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off the times, and every man hence to his idle bed. But if these, as I'm sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, then countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? Do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits, to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath. When every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he break even the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find him a shrewd contriver, and his means, as you know, if he improves them, will stretch so far as to annoy us all. Which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. to cut the head off and then hack the limbs. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, Cassius, think not of him. If he do love Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace, what is the clock?
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth this day or no, for he is superstitious grown of late. The unaccustomed terror of this night may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. Let me work. For I can give him humors the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Do that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. Friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you have said this night, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. So good morrow to you, every one. Boy, Lucius, fast asleep. It is no matter. Enjoy the honey heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore, thou sleepst so sound.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in his sleep cried out, "Help ho, they murder Caesar." Who's within?
Brutus, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? Is not thus to commit your weak condition to the raw, cold morning.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Nor for yours neither. You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves hath yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fight upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick?
Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not, for danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, Your wisdom is consumed in confidence.
And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus.
Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say that you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are so heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you, for here had been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that pertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk with you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure. If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as true to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well.
For true, then I should know this secret. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while. Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, by and by, thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart.
And for thy humor, I will stay at home today. Here's Decius Brutus. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow. Worthy Caesar, I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators, and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afeard to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
That cause is in my will. I will not come today. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, and because I love you, I will let you know Calpurnia, my love, stays me at home. He dreamt tonight he saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And for these he does apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on his knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
In this way have you well expounded it.
I have. When you have heard what I can say. And know it now, The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid. Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this. And reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. And look where Cassius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Welcome, Casca. Caius Cassius. Caesar was never so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is it, o'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesies. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Now, Decius, I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me, and be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friends shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together. The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand. Cassius or Caesar shall never turn back, for I shall slay myself.
Cassius, be content.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Decius Brutus throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Decius. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Is there no voice more worthy than mine own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Decius' brother may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Decius' brother.
I could be well moved, if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, and they are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood, and apprehensive. Yet in the numbers I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank unshaked of motions. And that I am he, let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant that he should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar.
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus.
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me.
Brute. Then fall Caesar.
Liberty. Freedom! Tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry about the streets.
Some to the common pulpit and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
And Cassius, too.
Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar
Talk
should...
not of standing.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as if it were doomsday.
Stoop, dear Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows and besmear our swords. And then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, waving our red weapons o'er our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over? In states unborn and accents yet unknown, so often shall this not of us be called, the men that gave their country liberty.
What, shall we forth?
Aye, every man away, Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure, live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die.
No, Antony, beg not your death of us, though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands in this our present act you see we do. Yet you see but our hands in the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome, as fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. To you, our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper do receive you in, with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear. Then I will deliver the cause, why I, that loved Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. Then, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. And my valiant Casca yours. And Decius Brutus, yours. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one or two bad ways you may conceit me either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, will it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Pardon me, Julius.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends? Or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reason why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am, moreover, suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word? You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony should speak at his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest that he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented that Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral. You shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now I do prophesy, which, like dumb mouths, do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, all pity choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
Let us be satisfied.
Let us be satisfied. We will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied. We will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied. Give me audience, friends. Those that will hear me speak, let them stay here. And public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
Tell us, Brutus.
Tell
The
us.
noble Brutus is ascended. Silence.
Be patient to the last. Romans, countrymen, lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and give respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censor me your wisdom, and awake your sense that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why I rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves than that he were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that would not love their country? If any, speak for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that will not be a Roman? If any, speak for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus.
None.
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 None,
Brutus.
Brutus.
None.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glories not extenuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced for which he suffered death. Here is his mantle, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand at all in Caesar's dying, shall receive the benefit of his death, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, if it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus,
Live, Brutus, live.
Bring him with triumph home into his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
Caesar's better part shall be crowned in Brutus.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
My countrymen,
Peace, silence, Brutus speaks.
Peace, ho!
good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's mantle and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
Twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace, ho, let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often turred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar. I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou thinkst rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear a worse will come in his place.
Mark ye his words. He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There is not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Mark him. He begins again to speak.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. Yet, here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they will go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony. The will.
Read
the
it.
will.
Read
We'll
it,
hear
Antony.
Caesar's
Read the will.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good. You know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Mark Antony. You shall read us the will, Caesar's will.
Will you patient?
Aye.
Will you stay a while?
Yes,
Aye.
yes.
I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
The will, the testament.
They were villains, murderers. The will. Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will.
Aye.
Yes. Then make a ring about the mantle of Caesar and let me show you him that made the will. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitors' arms quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep. And I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what, weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here! Here is himself, marred as you see with traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle.
Oh, noble Caesar.
A woeful day.
Oh, most bloody sight.
We will be revenged.
Stay, countrymen!
We'll hear him.
We'll follow him.
We'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable.
Nay!
I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds. Poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
Mutiny! Mutiny! Mutiny! Come away! We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Come away, let's seek the conspirators.
Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
Peace. Ho, Antony, most noble Antony.
Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true, the will. We'll stay and hear the will.
Here is the will. Under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death.
A royal Caesar.
Yet hear me with patience.
Peace, peace, ho.
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never, never. Come away. We'll burn the mantle in the holy place, and with brands fire all the traitors' houses.
Mutiny!
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 Treason!
mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Octavius Caesar, thou hast already come to Rome.
I came upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything. I heard Lepidus say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Methinks they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Lepidus.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly, I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Lucius, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes, wherein my letters praying on his side because I knew the man was slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm.
I, an itching palm. You know you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What, shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash as may be grasped it thus? I had rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait not me. I'll not endure it. I am a soldier, I, older in practice, abler than you to make condition.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
It's possible.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, more. Fright till your proud heart break.
It's come to this.
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I am glad to hear of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not.
No.
What? Durst not tempt him?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong with honesty that they pass me by as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counsels from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces.
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults. Come, Antony and young Octavius, come, revenge yourself alone on Cassius. For Cassius is a weary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman in all his faults observed, set in a notebook, conned and learned by route to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger. And here, my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Pluto's mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth. I, that denied thee gold, will give thee my heart. Strike as thou didst Caesar, for I know when thou lovest him best, thou hatest him worse than thou ever loved Caesar.
Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, who, much in force, shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Then give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus,
What's the matter?
have you not love enough to bear with me when my rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, he shall think your mother chides and leave you so.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Ah, Portia,
She is dead.
how escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. For with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so.
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge.
Welcome in, Decius. Welcome, good Casca.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. Casca, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor,
With what addition?
that by proscription in bills of outlawry, Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
That 'tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reason must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in forced affection, for they have grudged us a contribution. The enemy, marching along by them, by then shall come a fuller number up. Come on, refreshed, new added, and encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut him off, if we do face him there, these people at our backs?
Then with your will go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
There is no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise and hence.
Farewell, good Casca. Good night, Decius. Noble, noble Cassius. Good night and good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning to the night. Never let such division come between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother. Let me see. Let me see. Ah! Who comes here? It is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Speak to me, what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus,
Why comest thou?
to tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, I shall see thee again.
I, at Philippi.
Why, I will see thee at Philippi then. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee.
And now, Octavius and Lepidus, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make heed.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on, upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand I keep, thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
O Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Make forth! The generals would have some words.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar."
Antony, the postures of your blows are yet unknown. As for your words, they rob the high bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless too?
Oh, yes, and soundless too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes and fawned like hounds and bowed like bondsmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar in the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue hath not offended so today, if Cassius might have ruled.
Come! The cause? If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword comes up again? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the swords of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst die by traitors' hands unless thou brings them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strand, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why now, blow, wind, swell, billow, and swim bark. The storm is up and all is on the hazard. This is my birthday, and this very day was Cassius born. Now, Brutus, if we do lose this battle, then this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But the same day must end that work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why then we shall smile. If not, why, this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and in the end is known. Come, ho, away! Ride, Casca, ride, and give these bills unto the legions on the other side. I do perceive but cold demeanor in Octavius' wing, and sudden push gives them the overthrow. Ride, Casca, let them all come down!
Look, Decius, look how the villains fly.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly far off, my lord, fly far off. Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. Therefore, fly farther off, noble Cassius.
This hill is far enough. Look, Decius, are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Decius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him till he has brought thee to yonder troops and back again, where I may rest assured whether yon troops are friends or enemies.
I will be back again even with a thought.
Pindarus, get thee higher on the hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard, Decius, and tell me what thou knowest about the field. On this day I breathe first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, here shall I end. My life is run his compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Decius, he's taken. And hark, they shout for joy.
Oh, coward that I am, to live so long to see my best taken before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. And with this sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Take thou the hilt. And when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Oh, God! Oh, Caesar, thou art revenged even with the sword that killed thee.
Oh, Cassius! Far from this country, Pindarus shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
It is but changed, Decius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate, with Pindarus his bondman on this hill.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Casca. But Cassius is no more. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed.
What, Pindarus? Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Decius, while I goes to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ear.
Ah, you, Casca. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. Brutus, come apace and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Decius' heart.
Where? Where, Casca, doth his body lie?
Lo yonder.
The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. It is impossible that Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We shall try our fortune in a second fight!
Et tu, Brute, then fall Brutus.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our own swords in our own proper entrails. Come hither, good Casca. List a word.
What says my lord?
Why this, Casca? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me 2 several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here at Philippi Fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is, Casca. Thou seest the world, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Casca, thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that, our love of old. I prithee, hold thou my sword hilt while I run on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly! Fly, my lord, there is no tarrying here.
Good countrymen, it doth joy that in all my life I know no man but he that was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony, by this vile conquest shall attain unto.
Fly, my lord, fly!
Hence I will follow. I prithee, Lucius, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some relish of honor in it. Hold in my sword hilt, and turn away thy face, while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Lucius. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
Brutus, man. Lucius, where is Brutus?
Free from the bondage you are in, Casca. The conquerors can but make a fire of him, for Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
How died Brutus, Lucius?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He alone, in general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, "This was a man."
Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.